I want to talk a little bit about not discrediting the fact that many of us, if not all of us, have also experienced trauma in some way, shape, or form. And
Mhm.
so what are things that we can be aware of? How does our own trauma impact the way that now we serve other people with trauma in a way that is healthy, in a way that doesn't bring us back, in a way that doesn't make us spiral, and being aware of almost triggers on both sides, if you will?
Totally. That's a really good question and definitely something we have to be aware of. Um, I always lean into we have to do our work ideally first. Um, we have to do our heart work
Mhm.
to lead other people into their heart work. Right. So I'm trained in something called trust-based relational interventions, and that was developed by a woman named Dr. Karen Purvis. And I love that this concept that she's kind of quoted for is, how can you lead someone to a place you've never been?
Mm.
And especially in like the healing, wholeness, trauma conversation, right? Like if I've never dealt with my own grief, I'm going to have a hard time leading you through yours. If
Yeah.
I've never processed all the things that I've lost and experienced that weren't safe or appropriate or helpful for me in my life, I'm going to have a hard time leading you through yours.
Right.
Now, that doesn't change my intention. That doesn't change my heart for you and my desire for you to be well. But we've got to equip ourselves again, ideally first. If it's at the same time, I'll take it. Let's do that.
Mhm.
Um, I think that's huge because if we've not leaned into that, now that doesn't mean I have to have the same lived experience as you in order to help you. Not what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But if I haven't leaned into some of mine, I'm going to have a hard time being gracious with yours. I'm
Mm.
going to have a hard time not saying, well, it needs to look like da 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 da, da, right? Like a little list over here. I'm going to be triggered by some of your stuff. And then when I'm triggered, I'm not going to be able to be very helpful for you because that's kind of the nature of it.
Sure.
Right. And to the idea of we cannot underestimate the power of modeling.
Mm.
Right. Again, kind of another like helpful little catchphrase is most behavior is caught, not taught.
Mm.
Meaning I actually absorb a lot more just by being around you or observing you or being exposed to that than you being like, here's what we're going to do. Don't do this when this happens and do this when this happens, right? Yes, we can learn both ways, but most of like our tendencies, our habits, our go-to stuff, that is often absorbed by what was modeled and what we were exposed to. And so when we're talking about our own trauma histories or our own ACE score or whatnot playing a part, the more we're able to address that through things like journaling, support
Mhm.
groups, therapy, reading books that apply to what I'm processing, all of those relational experiences that lead me through it. When I'm modeling that, I am way more equipped to one, love you, the person I'm serving well,
Yeah.
um, and to be patient and gracious and know when we need structure or know when we need empathy or know when we need boundaries, because boy, have I done my own work and I've dug in and I've realized, ooh, this is a sign of we need this boundary.
Mhm.
This is a sign of someone being totally triggered. So therefore, like, we need to just focus on calming down.
Mhm.
So in us doing our own work, we're actually equipping ourselves in what might be the best way to serve those that we care about in volunteering and
Mhm.
those seeing those who are vulnerable, both with professional spaces, personal spaces, across the board.
Mhm.
Um, did that answer that
Yeah.
question?
Yeah. And I think that living in close proximity with and in close relationship with women is the
Mhm.
only way we're going to be able to model versus we're teaching at you. We
Yes.
talk about that within the program of EMA a lot, and the role of this advocate is less and less about the weekly sessions and the content you're feeding them, and so much more about this really deep and meaningful connection you're having with this person. You're earning the right in their life to be heard. And that always comes like, what is the price of admission into someone's life to
Mhm.
be able to model, even have that role that you can model behaviors for and with them.